Yep. So I've started the video again.
So my question is, how do you get guidance to come through more clearly? So I might get a feeling of something to do and go and do it, but I don't get, very, very rarely do I ever get, some people get a voice telling them directly what to do.
Oh, yes.
Like, how do you get it to be more obvious?
I mean, I can only talk about my own experience, but I don't hear. I just get a knowing or a sense, of a guidance to be here. I don't get a voice so much, other than my own kind of voice saying, do that. I think it's just about being open. I mean, all I can say on that is to be open to listening and to ask them more what they want. I think it's a lot about asking more your guides. But you're doing, but they say you're right on point. Yeah. They just have they also say don't make it too difficult. Because it's in the simplification of transferring your energy that is the beautiful work that you do. Yeah. Thank you.
Next question.
There's something. Hello, stranger at the back.
Could it be Wayne?
Oh, he's a thinker.
Mr. Curie, yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm just wondering if anyone may know, including yourself, obviously, about the Indigenous, well, as far as I know, the First Nations protocol about only men being allowed on mountains, and does anyone understand or know anything about that?
I was at a sound healing at McElroy last year, and the Indigenous Digi-player said McElroy is like feminine energy, and it took him a long time, like weeks or months, before he was allowed to even go up beside the mountain to do sound healing.
All right, so different mountains must be different.
He said McElroy was very masculine energy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I know.
Okay, so it doesn't relate to all mountains. It's just
No, it doesn't. I worked in Indigenous affairs for 7 years, and I'm no expert, but I was very fortunate to work with two different gentlemen at different times who spent a lot of time helping me understand. And it's the way their culture is set up. Men's business, women's business. And for a long time I had a Dreamtime Indigenous person beside me who would take me on great adventures, as you sort of astral travel and so forth, or remote view. But there were places that he refused to take me, even in a meditative state. And I'd say, well, can't you explain it or show me? And he'd say, no, men's business only. And it's so ingrained into their culture because they have sacred places that are very, very relevant to them, and it's not easy for someone who's not Indigenous to understand. Yeah.
And maybe it's ceremonies too, certain ceremonies.
Absolutely.
Because the energy portals in that area, or even the history of that area.
Yeah, it's very, very, it's soul deep for them.
So is that still relevant in the energies that are on the planet now?
Well, it depends upon the traditions that they pursue, because a lot of the traditions, my ET guides had told me years ago, a lot of the traditions have been sacred for all cultures, but as they said to me years ago, we're changing, and those traditions are to be respected. However, we're going into a new era, and we're moving beyond that, but I don't know the extent to which. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed on.
So you could say polarity because the Earth's changing polarity to people.
I think it's
People are changing polarities with the Earth.
I think it's about bringing everything back to one.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's kind of I can't comment on Indigenous culture. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. All I can say from my perspective, from what the Galactic guys that come come through me say is that this is the time where everything is unraveling. So everything, whether it's like a banking system, or whether it's or whether it's a cultural thing, it's all sort of shifting now, so that we can, and all the separation has to come up first before that. So all the stuff.
To be dissolved.
Yes, exactly. So this is why there's so much stuff coming up around different things at the moment, because it has to come to the surface. Then later on, hopefully, good stuff will happen. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what they say about where we're headed towards and how we should be dealing with the change that's going on at the moment?
Is there something in particular you're?
Well, just those very intense times, and there's a lot of uncertainty,
Yes.
Around to what kind of level to sort of where to come through, where we should have our headspace.
So, for me personally, they say to me, really, you are the vessel for change. So your highest priority is staying aligned and grounded in yourself, and working with whatever comes up around that. If it's a trigger because the petrol prices have gone up, it's a trigger because the petrol prices have gone up. But you know what I mean? Whatever comes up, whatever comes up, is divine in our trigger moment. So work with your trigger. But I feel like they really want us to be here as stable conduits of light. So yes, don't be in denial of what's going on in the world and what potentially is going on in the world, but don't have that your focus. Dip in and dip out. For me, that's my way anyway. Dip in, dip out, but come back to this, so that you can be of service for yourself, for your family, for the earth, and also so that we're not in it. We're not supposed to be right in the
Turmoil.
the turmoil. Good word, very much so. Yeah. Yes.
So, could this be relating to a lot of people's uncertainties about our change from 3D to 5D with our DNAs and the sun pulsing and solar flashes and the Galactic Federation and the Earth Gaia going through changes and all the rest of it?
All of that.
That's a very blurby sort of.
No, I'm joking. But so of course there are many narratives that are going around, and some of these have been purposely dropped into the collective consciousness because of our past life trauma, the Armageddon timelines with Lemuria, Atlantis, Lyra, Initiative, and a few other, the Orion Wars. So there's quite a few things that have been paralleled right now. It doesn't necessarily mean that all these things are going to unfold in a similar way as past timelines, but there's an energy of wanting to drag the collective consciousness in that direction, so that we don't stay in our peace and in our power and in our harmony right now.
Can't rest on our laurels. Yeah.
Well, we can rest on our laurels, apparently. That's the best thing to do, is to rest in ourselves and not get too caught. Because, ever since I've been tuning into energies, working in this way, following different teachers and what comes out on Facebook and what Facebook and whatever, forever there's going to have been a solar flash, It hasn't turned up yet. Maybe it will soon. But maybe it's not one flash yet. Maybe it's just a succession of accelerated energies that are planned over time. So we're not going to get burnt off. This is a slower process, so that the organic structure of our body can cope with the acceleration from the 3D to 5D. One more, and then you're done.
All right. It does coincide or relate to the burning off of the earth, etc. I was checking something out on YouTube, and it was talking about there was 3 massive pulses came out of the sun in, I think it was mid 2012, which was relating to the Armageddon thing, right? Which was supposed to be December 22nd or something or other, right? And they said there was 3 solar pulses came out from our sun, not from the central sun, but from our local sun, and they were around about the size of Mount Everest each pulse, and they were and 3 of them came out in a massive burst, and they said that the first one was going to, in theory, if it reached the outside of Earth, it was going to evaporate the atmosphere. The second one would have.
So this is, I'm going to stop you here for a second, because there are many benevolent galactic beings that are supporting
why were they diverted between the moon?
Supporting the process, So they are not allowing too much destruction to occur, whether that be solar activity or whether that be nuclear. Yes. So
they sort of got diverted between the moon and the Earth. They said, which was just it wasn't just due to good luck.
Exactly.
It was a guided nudge in the right direction.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you just answered the question I was going to follow through.
I'm psychic.
Can I ask a question if I can get in?
Yes, you may.
When I met you in Parisian Beach, we broached on the subject of a project that I've been thinking of for months. And you asked me, you've got a project? And I said, I don't know, have I? So, oh yeah, that's the one. I've been thinking of tiny houses, and then you came back and said, yes, the Galactics would like starseeds to live in communities and be that way. And I said, well, my dad, via another psychic, not yourself, I do go to others. But well, I didn't know you then. Now I know you. I'll always come to you, Michael.
As it should be.
So, can you expand on that for the gathering and help us, or help me, basically, to...
So all I want to say on that matter would be that, or we, the Pleiadians, would like to say on that matter is that there is a need for, not all starseeds, because obviously some people like to also have space around them in nature and not be around too many people, but there's also as the energies continue to accelerate and certain things start to unravel, there will be need for hubs of like minds to support each other, whether it's food or whether it's just sharing energy and company, because we are, I'm not trying to put fear into anybody, this is more about being stable hubs of energy. And if there's a little bit more upheaval, then there's going to be a need for more hubs of energy. And also especially on portal areas where the energy is stronger, because then that community can hold that energy and then come and go from the community and take it out. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes, exactly. And it will be a sacred purity grid point that's kind of a little bit Tefloned from the other stuff that might be going on at the same time in a global context. Yeah? It sounds very dramatic. I'm not saying, we're up for horrible times. It's just the energies are fast and causing things to unravel a bit, that's all. But breathe.
So is there anybody here that is interested in living in a tiny home or near the portal? Well, you've got your own portal, some of you. But haven't you, Lisa? You got any room for others there?
I think so trust that they will come. Yeah, it's about building it. It's about knowing that the people, just like you found this place, they will find you. Yeah.
Can't get away.
They will find
You don't want the tiny house next to you.
Yes,
You
that's the
don't-
thought I had in mind for months. So.
Yeah, but how close to you?
Oh, down the lawn somewhere. I don't mind, you know. I've got 50 metres that way, 50 metres that way, 50 metres that way. It's great. Don't think they're very happy, but anyway, I did hint at it.
I think to trust in the process, the divine plan, trust that it will unfold and they'll come to fruition when it's time. This has shifted something today. I think you'll get more inspiration around whether it's in your dream time or whether it's when you awaken in the morning. Things will start to drop in. Then you'll connect with people. Then it will accelerate.
Okay. I have been asking them directly when I'm sitting under the tree, can I have direct communication? Same with my father.
It's great, and they've been holding back a little because it's part of phase 2. Yeah. So
Okay.
phase 2 is here energetically. So it'll flow now. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
No worries. I do want to talk to someone's throat chakra because she came to me in the break, but I can't remember her name. Catherine. Okay. So I just want to do this for you, Catherine, because you were so sweet coming saying hello. Yeah. So, and this also ties into the Christ timeline. Yeah. So, so many of us also not just had aspects of ourselves in off-planet worlds, shall we say, but there was also many other lives on the Earth. So some of us were, dare I say, around the time of Yeshua. So take a moment, feel his presence enter the room. So, I would say to those that have memory of Yeshua, of the persecution, of his energy, of his name. I'm also very aware and not wanting to offend anybody with a religious leaning. I'm just bringing through a energy of his consciousness in a galactic level. Yeah. So this is where some of us formed a group after he was executed. Yeah. And we were known as the Cathars. Yeah. The Cathars. And we were not well received. In fact, it was dangerous. It was very dangerous to hold his teachings and honor them. And if we spoke his name, whoosh, the old throat, gone, you know. So that was you, my love. So that is why it's terrifying to speak your truth this life. But I want you to know at every cell of your being that it's not going to happen to you this lifetime. That you will not be ridiculed, you will not be hunted down, and you will not be persecuted for who you are. So this is a dissolution of that timeline out of your body, and anybody else who feels aligned or has aspects of that timeline in their energy. Ashkandare berege barka dudurge barkandare gishkile karka shile barki shule barki bundonone ke barka ta 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 ke galar karka ke karakare shantare ke barkote shile barka ta ta la la ka shule ki bata ta 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 tukur. Release a small implant that's sitting at the back of your brainstem. Just energetically releasing that implant. Taking a breath, everybody. So, anything from that anyone wishes to share, or anything else anyone wishes to express or work with while I'm here? Yeah.
Just what I've come across from the information that just around multidimensionality and the understanding of, bringing about a new earth and the golden age. That seems to be what I've been informed is happening, and I know I'm here to help. Yet I have 4 children and others that I love, sisters and family and friends, and I've heard that it's not that we're, separating, that the multi-dimensional, I've been trying to understand that for years.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I'm growing in my understanding. And recently I heard that.
So they want you to know very deeply, you're not going to lose anybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose anybody.
So that's what I was wondering, because I felt that I heard that we're going to shift. Some of us will shift, and I already feel like it's happening.
So this is my take on it. Please do your research. Please feel in what resonates for you. My take is that some souls aren't coming with us. Those souls are passing. Those souls are passing or have passed. And they go on to a different timeline, a different earth. Everybody that's here is coming. That's my take. But other people may have different views, different versions. So I feel that that if you're here, you're here. If you've left, you've left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Soul contracts. Yeah. So you're not. You are lifting your family up. Yeah. So they will follow you.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
Yeah. Really, really. It's true. Yeah. Thank you.
Can I add to that?
Yes, please.
To your kind of little dilemma or something, we're worried about family and everything like that. We tend to look at our kids as kids, no matter what age they are. But we've also got to remember that each one of us is a sovereign being in our own right. And they've come into this reality with their own life contract, which they set up exactly as they wanted for themselves.
Yes.
So if I know it's hard to, like a parent sort of burying a child, so to speak, or something like that. But I can always remember my sister dying. She was 2.5 years old. She died on Christmas Eve in front of us, in a bed with a long illness, something, and we all said in separate incidents, each one of us, because I was on the first out of 9, we all said we could see the universe, through her eyes.
Wow.
And so, if you're sort of worrying about not meeting up with someone later on, you will anyway.
Yeah. I hear that, and I do feel that. Just that tiny fear that I think we're all juggling with and letting go.
So let's work with the thymus, high heart space. Yeah. This is just this little area between the throat and the heart, high heart, the soul, seat of soul grief. So some have been triggered into deep grief right now because when the earth was at this point in other lifetimes, it didn't go so well. That's not what we're creating this life, just so you know, hopefully. But there's a lot of grief of endings, whether it's endings in a literal sense, or whether it's just an ending of different timelines that are now dissolving so that we can move into a brighter you're lifting off anything in Shanana, in the high heart, around grief, around separation, around endings. Okay. Ishandarika Barakatika Pataka Shele Barakatika 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 Shela Barakatika Pataka Shala Pataka Barakatika Pataka Shala Borkondo Tiki Patata So just taking a breath here. So, anybody, I think there's some kitchen stuff going on. More food? More food?
Sorry, just heating it up. It'll take a while.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Hello.
Hi. My question might be really simple, because but I just the other day at home I had an ET, or I imagine it's an ET, tap me on the shoulder and scared the hell out of me, because I hadn't actually seen them before. I've dreamt about them and everything, but how do I communicate with them and overcome my apprehension to seeing them?
So they know you. They know your sensitivity. Yeah. They know you at a deep level. Yeah. So they are going to be so very generous with you. Yeah. They will appear very slowly and gently to give you time to acclimatize to the awareness in the 3D. Yeah? So just invite them gently towards you. And when they know you're ready, they'll come forward more so. But they're giving you grace to normalize them. Yeah? So there's no rush, is what I hear. It'll all come. Yeah.
I can trust that they're the right ones to come to.
So very much so.
Okay.
They are your brothers and sisters from the stars. There's nothing dangerous about these guys. But I'm confirming, but you got to trust that yourself.
Yeah.
So ask to talk to them, and ask for signs, yeah? But from what I hear is that they're your buddies, and they're wanting to connect with you now because you're been prepared for more. Yeah.
If I may add something there,
Please.
I found in the early days that doing automatic writing was just the perfect tool. I would telepathically ask a question, and oh boy, the information would come in. So it's an easy tool, but it may help you as well.
Yeah, I think that's great. Great one.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else?
Pressure.
Pressure? From the back?
Pressure.
What about pressure?
Here and rising up
Now
through the
or
years.
now or in general?
Hey?
Now or in general?
Quite now, as well as other gatherings and meditation, and often in meditation. Pressure.
So around the solar plexus, you mean?
There, and then it sort of rises. A bit like I remember when I did Vedic meditation and they talk about Kundalini.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's pressure, and I sometimes do wonder, what do I do with it? Or how do I respond?
They would say breathe.
Yeah, I do that. Explanation,
Explanation.
please.
Oh, you want an explanation? It's your life force, my love.
Yes.
It's your life force, yeah? It is your Kundalini fire, for sure. And it's trying to break through some structures, yeah? So I just want to do a little energy bit for this bit, and it's sort of this. It's like a little olive green chakra, yeah, and it sits in between the solar plexus and the heart space, yeah. Now this energy center is should I? What's that from that little enclave? Oh, okay. Well, I've been around a little bit, yeah. But this one, yeah, this little one, it's your soul. Deepest level, yeah, it's your soul, yeah, and and it's dying to be released. It's saying, hey, I don't want to be so small. This body is not big enough for me, yeah, for my energy, yeah. So let me just work on this. So you can tap in there if you want, my love, or anybody if you want, but. So this is just awakening that bit of that energy to expand it through the diaphragm space, yeah? On a physiological level, I would be working with breathing through your side ribs. I would be doing Pilates. I would be strengthening my core and side body breathing, yeah? To allow it to go sideways, not piston up, yeah? Because it's wanting to fill you out, and it's doing that, yeah? So, and hold your pelvic floor in your awareness with the upward movement, so that you've got a base to bring it back down, yeah? Do you know what I mean by that? Or does that sound a bit weird?
No, that's right, because I never know whether to do out, up, in, down.
I think you need to have a full-on tantrum, to be honest.
Oh, did you say tantrum?
Have you seen that tantrum from Annie?
But anyway, let me do this little thing and then we go back to the
Tantrum.
Eşka tuldu da parki butu da parka tika parinne eşikle parka parka tika parka tika şileke jalaka pati alaka pati ushanaki yalaka orkianaka ushanati yalaka oyalaka ushanaka oyatiku. So I want to just also, if you don't mind me saying one last thing, yeah? Tantrum joke aside, yeah? There is this energy, I feel, your teenage self, not your inner child so much, but more your teenage self, that was too much of a good girl, yeah? So you need to be a little bit wild. And let that out, you know? Let that wildness out. Because it's a little bit like it's wanting to expand, yeah? Talk to Michael, he knows a lot about it.
In the past.
But yeah, so, but honestly, I would get moving, yeah? Dance, whatever, you know?
Samba,
So
something
go-
like that.
I'm afraid, Andy, I don't feel safe around you.
I'm in trouble.
And his poems might change.
But trust yourself to, but move with it, yeah? Physically move with it. Yeah. Thank you. I said no more.
Yes, no more, Wayne.
No more. You can have, what if it's quick, what?
Rather than a question, then I could make it a statement.
Oh no.
To me, it sounds like this is part of the upgrade too, because I get ringing in my ears and I get pulsing in my chest and different physical reactions all the time. And from what I've read on YouTube, this is, there's a whole myriad of different.
That's very true. That's very true. It's a very, I've seen a lot of posts myself lately. It's a very physical process right now, the ascension process. Of course, there's always the psychological bag that comes with it, but it's the bodies are straining to accommodate the new light, and that is why we need to practice being in alignment in whatever way that works, and that can bring up aches, pains, old energies that, of illness, just for clearing, just for clearing. So I think it's almost unavoidable. So I always go to like infrared saunas is really good. There's the Nusake. It's very fabulous. It's very fabulous. City Cave, that's it. City Cave. Yeah. But that was a free plug for them. But no, I think anything, because of the somatic background, bodywork background, I think it's important to do what you need to support your body at this time, for sure.
Just pausing there, just see how long you want to go for. It's 5 past 4.
Well, we had a bit of a long break, didn't we? We can go for another 10.
10, okay.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
If
Can that be?
people are clamouring to get to the chicken pasty.
Well, the hot food's not quite ready. So 10 minutes would be perfect.
10 minutes, let's do that.
So 10 minutes without weighing, is that right?
Gosh,
Love you, Wayne.
The moon is whining.
You're very, very wise, Mr. at the back, very wise. Thank you for your contribution today.
Just around that wildness, as a wild woman, in my growth and that whole question of where you brought up fear, I'm afraid of you if you let that loose. Not that you really are, I understand. But it's interesting how that wildness is, some of us have been afraid to release it.
Yes.
But it's divine. That's what
And I think it's very true. I think many of us had experiences growing up, or past life trauma that sort of mirrored our family of origin experience growing up, that put us on a certain sort of pathway, and that most of our journey is to release our fears of speaking, being seen, showing up, and being a little bit weird,
especially as women or males too.
Especially. No. I mean, I think if I hadn't grown up a gay man in the north of England, I don't think it would have been as easy to be so renegade with talking to a group of strangers in funny language and doing strange stuff. I think my life path put me in a position of difficulty and being an outsider early on, so that I was able to then feel more comfortable with the role later. So I just did want to answer a question about light language that came in the break also, which is trust the process. I didn't personally use it straight away. I was very careful about who I would work with because I was very shy about it. I found very energetically sensitive people in group work and in private one-on-one sessions that would give me feedback. I'm a scientist by trade years ago, so I like to do my own research. I like to prove to myself that it actually does something before I actually put myself out there on a limb. So I think if you're new to light language, just be open to playing with it gently, and you'll get more information as you go, like any ability that you have naturally. The other piece is just around, I think it's gone. So light language and, no, it's gone, it'll come back. So anything else?
It's quite interesting, I've never experienced the light language before.
How was it for you?
Quite interesting, because it's all the tones and you feel the energy and frequency of those tones, so it was very enjoyable, and you got something out of it. I was quite impressed with it.
I think it's like any modality. Some practitioners I feel are you're drawn to, and some people not. That's what I was going to say about that language itself. It's not something I feel that, because I've seen people say, oh, do a 10-week course and learn to speak light language. And personally, I'm not sure how that works myself, because, you know, I think it's something that some of us have carried for many lifetimes, from Lemuria, from Atlantis, when we worked with the crystals, when we worked with, we'll do something to finish off around that energy. But it's something that we've held in our beingness, and if you, some people spontaneously it comes through. Some people, if you hang around with people that already speak it and you're a channel that is open to that, it will come through.
I mean, I didn't understand. I understand the tones.
Sure.
We didn't actually have words, but you could understand the tones and the vibration or that.
I don't understand it syllable by syllable. Some people do.
Right.
I just know I get a knowing or an awareness of what it's for and how it might help people.
Yeah, I could feel though. It was quite profound. It was very good.
Thank you.
It's very fluent, is my impression, because I've heard lots of people doing light language before, and the last part sounded very Middle Eastern, like Arab tones. Put a turban on.
But no, it is. I think it's back to, dare I say, what Wade said. I'm playing. But you know, around that it is that each that there is different dialects from the galactic origins that are spliced into different nationalities, not unlike the splicing of galactic beings into our own DNA.
So is it tone? Is it actually words or is it tones that you're communicating with?
Words or tones. Say l'amour.
Is it actually what you're saying is words, or is it actually just the tone?
Some people, if they're attuned to light language, when I speak light language, they can understand it as a language.
Right.
I personally cannot.
Can you spell it?
Not on a Sunday afternoon.
You haven't got enough food yet.
No.
Look, I have to say that I've heard quite a lot of people do light language, and this is the first time I've actually really felt it. But I've also had many years of being a light trance and a deep trance channel, and I've never ever experienced the light language personally, because there's always been a message that has to be delivered and shared and so forth. But one of the things that I have learnt along the way is that many of the galactics actually don't speak a language, it's through sound and symbols. And so when you come to look at, okay, what is your name, or you know, who are you, when they come in, there's a sound, but there's no way I could write it down or repeat it. And then when I ask, where are you from? Again, it's the same sort of thing. Basically, it's light language, I guess. But unpronounceable and not understandable to our way of being, is what I'm saying,
Yeah, I would also be interested if you, for you to look at and give me some feedback on about light language symbols. Have you seen those people have done?
I've seen them, but I don't understand them, no, because that's not the way I work.
Yeah, but that's the sort of, I feel like as you talk about it, it's what you perceive is the symbol.
Yeah, it has a vibration and frequency,
I've got some on the wall.
There's a lot of...
Go. Yeah, and then,
You're making those comments about tones, whereas I keep hearing the consonants. There's a lot of consonants in it. You know, Aussies are very, we love our vowels, we love to draw our vowels and which means we're not particularly good at certain languages that are more like because it makes me think of a click language. Cambodian is a click language, but the original language from the Hadza region, where mitochondrial Eve came from, the Hadza Valley. Yeah. We're going right back to the beginning of humans, and around that area it's all click languages. So I just think it's, I don't know what to make of that, and I'm not going to put any more thought into it.
Sure, interesting.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
But I like
But
that
you can.
No, sure. I like go on for hours. But no, I think there's something I feel around that Eve stuff that maybe come through though. Yeah, interesting. Thank you so much.
In regard to your question, kind of about symbols, when I travel in the galaxy on the ships,
wow,
the symbols are on doors and entrances, which can be anywhere. Of course, you just walk straight through. And they're very similar to the Mayan symbols.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter what ship you're on. When I've been in one of the galactic fleets, the same symbols are on the ships on the ships that come from different galaxies. So in other words, it's a sort of a universal
symbol
sort of thing, but of course with its own dialects for each galaxy, perhaps.
Yeah, but that sounds right, doesn't it? It feels really good. So let us do some.
Try again.
How are we going for time?
Oh, we got heaps of time. We're not in the hall, so let's go.
So this is an activation of the Universal Citizen Galactic Light Template. And this sounds fancy, doesn't it? But cool. And so, but this is like a light language symbol that is going to be energetically, we would say, just activated, switched on, in front of the energy of the heart, physical heart chakra. And this is about this is about activating more of your galactic wisdom, your origins, your sight, your seeing, your hearing, your feeling of them, knowing that you are deeply connected with them. Ashki oreba diandaro ki burukuru koyandara ki burukuru koyandara ki eleki ki kurukonte de ki barka to te ki barka anda to ku eskele urko o eskele urronte de ki barkata de barki kanda ta bala kish bele barkish kele barka patata So, I think that was the end.
Official closing and thank you from everybody. Yeah, you're coming out.
He's already out.
Okay, stay there. I'd just like to say a huge welcome to beautiful, eloquent, intelligent, knowledgeable, galactic, Pleiadian, Michael Muir. And thank you for all coming to listen to him. And I'm sure we'd like him back some other time if you want to.
Of course.
Thank you, Michael.
Double trouble.
If you feel to have a look at my goodies, come and say hello. I just want to say that I might hang around for a little while, but after I've been doing these channeling sessions, I get a little bit whacked out. So come and say hi, but if I'm a bit absent, please forgive me. I'll be around for a little while.
Lots of great food.
And I'll be eating.
Don't mind vegetarian.
Michael, may I just add something? And I apologise for interrupting.
No, it's all
Years
good.
ago, I learnt from another good friend who was a channel that 1 hour of trance channeling is equal to 10 hours of physical activity.
Yes,
It depletes your system of essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals. It's not something that one does lightly. I just want to say that to acknowledge what you shared with us.
Thank you. Some food now.
Thank you, everybody.
Go on, go for it. Why?
Whether here